to another dating tip episode. So as you can see, I have a guest today. It's my boyfriend Pablo, and because I've been getting questions from ladies in my dating group asking, like what are guys thinking or why guys do certain things on dating apps. So I think it will be more convincing to have a guy who used to use dating apps to give a different perspective and share his thoughts. Okay, so today we are going to answer 6 dating questions. If you are interested to see what guys are thinking, make sure that you keep on watching. The first question for you is, what does it mean when my date replies to my text slower as the time goes by?
If he's not responding or responding slower, I would say it's one of 3 things. I would say 1, he's not interested. 2, he's more interested in his own life or his own job or his work. Or 3, he's interested in somebody else. I think it's pretty simple for guys. If they are interested in you, they're gonna be figuring out how to get you to like them back. So if they're not engaging, then something is capturing their attention elsewhere.
So if guys are not replying or engaged, then pretty much means that you can move on, right?
I mean, it depends on how unengaged they are. If they seem to be somewhat engaged, but you feel like they're kind of pulling away, then I would say that's a pretty clear sign.
Okay.
Guys are pretty simple, I think.
Okay. Question number 2, do guys like girls initiating a conversation instead of having them start the chat on apps?
I would say love it. I would think a lot of guys actually like that. Obviously not every guy's going to be the same. Can't speak for every guy, but I would say that guys would appreciate that. It's kind of weird because sometimes a person may not be interested in someone right away, but if somebody shows them interest, it might open up their mind a little bit, make them more open-minded into seeing if they're interested in that person. Way back in high school, like my friend, as well as I shared the same kind of sentiment about there was some girls that had crushes on us, and when we found out, we were like, oh really, she has a crush on me? And then I was like, oh, she's cute. Like, I never really thought about it, but then when I heard she had a crush on me, I was like, oh really?
Oh,
so yeah, I think initiation, girls definitely shouldn't be afraid to make the first move in this day and age. But that doesn't necessarily mean you have to be making all the moves. It's interesting for a guy to find a girl that's willing to make the move. It kind of just shows that there's going to be some level of effort on the girl's part too, which guys always appreciate.
Because one girl asked me in the past saying that if they initiate a conversation, kind of take away the magic for the guy, because they feel like, oh, okay, you're here now. They are afraid that the guy might less appreciate this girl.
Yeah, but making the first move doesn't necessarily mean here I am, take everything, I'm here for you. Like you can make the first move and still, make it a chase. Like I said, you don't have to have your first move. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're making all the moves, but it could be a way to bring somebody in.
Yeah, I remember the couple interview I did with Andrew and Sharon, and Andrew talked about the same thing. He said that he thinks when girls initiate, it's very sexy to him. So he wonders why girls don't do it more. Question number 3. Will my date lose his interest in me because I keep him waiting for a longer time to meet during the pandemic? I got this question from a girl asking, during the pandemic, and some guys would ask, oh, would you want to meet? But then the girl said that, oh, I don't feel safe yet. But she realized after she said that, the guy started kind of pulling away. So she feels sad and thinking that, oh, if I keep doing that to other people, will that decrease my chance to find someone special? What do you think?
So we're filming this in mid-July right now, so the pandemic has been going on for quite some time. I just hung out with one of my guy friends yesterday, you know who you are, and he's single, and I even spoke to a single guy friend 2 months ago, and that was May. And the guy from May was expressing how he already misses going out, talking to new people, meeting girls. He was like, man, I miss talking to girls. And my friend from yesterday was he's a very social person. he can't stand it anymore. I think people are, especially single people, they've been feeling lonely for a while now, maybe even feeling a little bit desperate to make a connection or to be with somebody else. I don't know if people are going to wait around, you know, if somebody is not willing to meet up and they're feeling that tension, and somebody else comes along and they're willing to meet, you know, it is risky, and I think it's responsible and a good choice for you to hold off on meeting, especially since things are picking up again. But I can understand the way other people feel, you know, that it's been a long time, and if those people are single and lonely, nothing's gonna stop them from meeting somebody. If you're not ready to meet yet and that person's backing away because of it, I mean, did you guys share enough about each other during the time that you weren't together that maybe the guy sees you as interesting enough to wanna wait, or hold off? So you gotta get creative and think about ways to keep somebody interested.
Question number 4. What does it mean when the sharing of photos and personal life is very one-sided? So pretty much when the girls is like taking initiative, sharing photos in her life, but there's like nothing coming from the guy. Like, what does that mean?
You know, everybody's different, and from a guy's perspective, I've met a lot of guys that are kind of shy, or a lot of guys that haven't gotten out enough to be able to be, I guess, interesting, you know? So I would say on the one hand, there's a possibility that means he's a little bit too boring. So maybe he likes that you're sharing all this stuff, but he has, you know, no way of really sharing back because he's just not interesting enough, or maybe he's a little bit clueless. Like, you need a little bit of experience too to realize that you need to engage with somebody. That's one part. The other part is he may not be interested. Like, maybe he knows how to share, but maybe he doesn't want to share.
Question number 5. Some guys ask to chat on the phone even before the first date, because I had that before, like a couple of times. But a girl prefer to just text. So she asked, why do guys like to chat on the phone instead of texting? I feel that too. I feel like guys don't really like to text and they prefer to talk on the phone, but we feel like, oh, why you need to talk on the phone? Why can't you just text?
So this is like one of those girl-guy dynamics where the girls are always trying to play it safe because they're the ones being pursued, right? So they have more of a choice, and there's a lot of guys coming after girls. So girls want to be able to get out of situations, you know? Guys, on the other hand, are the ones chasing, and they may not have as much choice as girls do because obviously they're competing with all the other guys to get the attention of a girl. So they need everything in their power. They need to do everything they can to make sure they seal the deal. It's another way for a guy to feel like he has more of a chance. So if you can hear his tone of voice, or maybe he can talk to you, or maybe he can say something that will kind of convince you to stick around. Because I think you mentioned like, oh, girls don't want to get on the phone because what if it's awkward, or what if they don't like the guy, and they just want to be able to back away.
And then that would be an awkward moment because you don't know what to say to hang up.
And that's how guys want to get you, because they know that if they get you on the phone, they're gonna be able to charm you in some way.
But sometimes it just like you find out faster by chatting. You're like, oh, no chemistry, sorry, not interested in this guy for sure. And then that call becomes the last call.
Especially online dating, I feel like guys want to rush to a point where they can be more like in control or in the situation than just being some other person on the other side of a chat. So maybe you just gotta be honest with yourself. Know that, again, guys are looking for ways to get you, you know? So if you are too shy to resist an aggressive guy on the phone that's like trying to get you to like him, you know you're not going to be the kind of person who knows to say no or doesn't know how to back out of a situation, then maybe you should just find a way to stay chatting for a little bit. In the end, I would say, you know, for everyone, get more comfortable with yourself, know yourself, so that you can put yourself a little bit more out there, because when you open yourself up a little bit, there's more opportunity to meet people. Less shyness, more openness.
My last question is how to keep a conversation flowing with a guy. I know in my previous videos I mentioned or I share some tips about how, you know, if you're a more introvert guys, how can you start a conversation with a girl? But how do we make our conversation interesting with a guy?
girls have it easier when it comes to conversations. Traditionally, guys are the ones going after girls, so they're the ones that have to prove that they know how to talk. And like from the previous question, he's not really taking the lead. What do you do then? So I think girls have it easier because most of the time guys are going to be taking the lead. This goes for everybody, not just girls. You have to know how to keep a conversation going. This is a social, we're humans are a social animal, and this is a society where communication is key. Back when I was single, I was talking to this guy at work, and I was like, oh, this girl that's in the other department, she's kind of cute. Like, I want to, get to know her, talk to her. And then he was like, no, dude, we went on a road trip for work or something, and we were in the car, and I was trying to keep a conversation going with her, and every time like I'm talking for like a couple minutes, and then she just goes like, oh, that's nice. Everything that he would say was a dead end. And he said that she was kind of like not interesting. That's what he took away from it, because everything that he would contribute out into the open just died. And that's why I was saying girls have it easier, because guys are going to be traditionally putting more out there. All you have to do is take that, something that he said, like a story, and take some tidbits out of there and respond with something, or contribute your own story, or say something, give a commentary, so that the dialogue continues.
Okay, I hope you guys find something helpful and interesting from Pablo's thoughts and his response to some of the frequently asked questions. And let me know what you think, and let us know what other dating questions you have. Maybe we can bring him back to answer more of your questions.
The answers are pretty easy. They're out there. You just got to listen to yourself. It's a lot easier than you think. And if it's hard, it's because you're holding on to something that you're hoping or wishing was the case, but it really isn't.
So guys are simple.
Guys are simple. Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in my next one. Bye.